let me get this thermometer out and check that temperature. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm checking my temperature.
I already
for phase
told
2.
you that's not a rectal thermometer.
Well, I thought it kind of felt good.
No, now I gotta change that cap for the 3rd time. I don't run out of caps. That's for your ear.
Well, I'm sorry.
I spent $150 on that thing because we're in phase 2. So now you gotta pop that thing off and I gotta try it again. Today we'll be opening up a Power of the Force Deluxe Boba Fett.
Hit it, hit it, hit it. Get it going. Two mothers went to the park. It was kinda dark. In the daytime, Carl and Ryan in the daytime. Carl and Ryan in the daytime. Carl and Ryan, dope niggas, come by them and the bust you in the hip.
Go ahead,
Here we
pop
go.
that.
Come
head.
on, you.
Come on, pop it.
Oh!
We are back in the CC and RR studios, 6 feet away.
6 feet.
You know, we're in phase 2 of quarantine, which means that we could see other humans and interact with our friends.
Yes.
And it feels good to be back.
As long as everything's wiped down.
Wiped
We've
down.
sprayed the whole room with Lysol.
Thermometer.
Thermal checks.
We're good. We're good. We're good. Sorry. And everything is ready to go.
Should we have masks?
We probably should,
I
but
have one.
we are 6 feet away.
I do have a mask.
Maybe next time.
Next time, okay.
Next time. But here we are,
Yeah, I'm
back
gonna
again.
scoot just a little further.
Yep, in 1080p fresh.
Yeah.
We unfurloughed our cameraman, as we talked about as well.
He's been allowed out.
He's
He's
allowed
also
out.
6 feet apart.
He is 6 feet apart. So we got an exciting episode for you today. Like us, subscribe us, take off your masks, because this is phase 2, baby.
This
Ready
is
to
phase
go.
2. Phase 2 of America open back up.
Yep, opening back up. All right, so we are going to look at the Retro Collection Wave 2, and we're going to do some compares to the original vintage figures, Empire figures, and see, you know, how close they got it, see if they got that photoreal technology going on these classic figures. And
now, these figures, I mean, these are harder to find than some of the original vintage figures.
they are. You can't find these. You could have found the vintage ones all day long, but these guys are hard.
These are extremely hard to find.
And you would think you'd be able to find these because the cards are so destroyed.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
People want them.
They are extremely hard to find. They're popping up all over the country supposedly in Walmarts, but all the Walmarts I've been to here,
Don't have.
I have risked disease.
You were going into Mos Eisley.
I was going into
type conditions.
filth stations. That's
And-
That's the most dangerous part of my week is trying to get a Star Wars toy.
Wow. And you know what's amazing about these figures is that they are marked up like 400% compared to the originals.
If you go onto the secondary market sites,
Yeah.
these beasts are selling for anywhere from $40 a figure to Boba Fett's like $50 or $60 a figure.
That's crazy. For 5 points of goodness.
For a $9 figure.
For a $9 or $10 figure. $9.99,
Yes,
right?
I correct.
All right, so who are we going to start out with?
So let's start off with Billy D.
Billy D.
Billy D. Williams.
So is that
Also known as Lando Calrissian.
Lando Calrissian, the Colt 45 Master
Correct.
Chief.
So this is the Wave 2. Just like we're in Phase 2,
Yep.
this is
Wave
Wave
2.
2
Yep.
of the retro collection.
Yep.
So I do collect the retro figures. I kind of like them.
Now, is that the white teeth
No,
version?
no, this is the closed mouth version.
Closed mouth.
Yes, there is no white teeth in this version, if you can see. He's got his closed mouth. Because people did have some issues with that.
Yeah. White eyes and white teeth.
Right, so yeah, no, he's got just the regular paint. So, looks like typical, very thin,
Yeah.
like we talked about in the first. It's a little,
Yeah.
It feels a little thicker than the original,
Yeah.
original card backs.
You think so?
No. Original, like, Wave 1 card backs.
Okay.
So it does feel a little bit thicker. Maybe they won't bow as much.
Yeah.
He's got the retro collection in 6 different language sticker. They put it right over the actual picture of the character.
Is that a sticker or is that a
This is
print?
a sticker.
It is a sticker.
This is a sticker.
Interesting.
I don't remember if Wave 1 was a sticker or if it was a print.
A print.
I think it was a sticker on Wave 1 as well. So, got your Lando. First noticeable difference from the original is the bubble. This is a larger bubble with the actual molding inside the plastic. So he's actually placed inside of the actual mold, so it doesn't slide around.
So I have a question. Why does mine look better conditioned than yours, and mine is about 40 plus years old?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's a great freaking question. That is a vintage figure, 1980, circa 1980 figure.
Yeah.
And the card back on that figure, who has been sitting in storage and shipped. That was, I'm sure, 100% sure that was on some toy peg.
Yeah.
Kids are ripping it around back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Ends up going to somebody who goes to somebody who ends up in your hands.
Yeah.
And it's in better condition than this brand new retro card that's made to look like it's been in some dude's closet for 80 years.
So so this gun is taped. Is it got the same Bespin blaster?
It looks very similar. This is black. That is the classic, like, bluish aqua color.
Yeah.
And yes, this is the same classic pistol with that muzzle flare on it. The muzzle flare.
It's got the muzzle flare, yeah.
Yep, it's got that muzzle on it. So yeah, it's got that classic. He's actually got the bubble mold for the gun, so it's actually in a mold.
And this is I think about a 32 back vintage card, which they tried to mimic at least with the 6 figures that are out, right?
Yeah, so this you've got this amazing multi-languaged directions, and this one does show the retro here again, and it says the figures that are part of that wave. But for some reason, they went with the same card back as the original Wave 1 figures, which I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, it should be Empire, right?
It should be an Empire back. It's almost like they just don't care.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, we're going to put the effort into the front of the box,
right,
but not to the back. And they did the same thing when we did the review for the Empire 40th figures on the 6-inch versions.
Yes.
They did the Empire fronts, but the Star Wars backs. And I don't know why. It's almost like they don't realize that they were different.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and I have to say, I'm admiring the seal on that bubble. Look at that seal. I think that's tearing everything right there.
I think that seal will definitely outlast this seal.
You think so?
Yeah, this seal is going to pop off. I'm pretty sure if I hit this hard enough, the seal will pop off. But the figure is impressive. I mean, it is definitely a classic vintage mold.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
And that one, it's got the instructions.
It does. These come with instructions. They're all about instructions now.
Yeah.
So that being said, figure's cool, mold's cool. Obviously, it's the original. Now, was that yellow? Yeah, that was also orange.
It was orange.
So they got that correct. I was really hoping to find an extra figure at one of the stores, and maybe we will at a later episode.
Yeah.
Because I'd really like to rip one of these open
and see what
and compare it to an opened loose.
Yeah, I want to see if it smells like the originals.
Yes. So there's your Lando.
Right.
Next up is the Hoth Leia, which I'd say was probably one of the fan favorites of her.
Yeah.
You know, they've done a really good job with the Hoth Leia for the 6-inch versions. So there's your compare to the original version from
now, I have to say, yours looks a bit Asian.
Let me see. Let me see your eyebrows. Yes, I agree. Mine does have a little more of an ethnic look.
Yes, but I mean, the paint apps on these things are pretty good.
Yeah, the paint apps. Yeah, no, they seems like they put a little effort into these paint apps.
Yeah.
You know, their eyebrows aren't, down under their chins like some of these old school toys we've seen.
All right.
But they got it spot on with the freaking card. I mean, Empire, Leia, the picture's right on. So they did a pretty good job, except obviously the warning stickers. They like putting warning stickers all over it. The ages 4 and up, it's different, but it's still on there. And then under your Kenner, you have some kind of...
Mine says, meets or exceeds all safety requirements of product standard 7276.
Yeah, okay. So ours just says, warning, this will kill you.
Yes.
So just
read these instructions.
And then read the bottom, all of the 8 pages of instructions, and we'll tell you. But figure looks like the apps are pretty much on point.
Yeah.
I mean... Your bubble,
same gun.
Yeah, your bubble is obviously a little smaller because it doesn't have the mold. The gun,
yep,
is the gun is right on. Oh, that's if you can see that, cameraman.
Yeah,
you get a good spot on that. So, gun's spot on. The figure looks to be pretty much right where it needs to be.
Does it say Hoth outfit?
No, there you go. So there's the difference, right? Is mine just says Leia Hoth.
Leia Hoth.
Which we were doing that on one of the prior episodes with
Yeah.
the 40th anniversary set for the
Right.
Black Series. For some reason, the names, they kind of weirded it up sometimes. I don't know
Yeah.
what that was about.
I don't know.
But yeah, and there's your back, same
Mine's a-
thing.
41 back.
And the original Star Wars back for some reason.
Hmm.
So yeah, they for some reason the retro seems to like these backs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what that's about, but
Interesting.
definitely a cool figure, man. I mean, they seem to be, like I said,
Kenner even went all out on this one and put a little bit of lipstick on.
really
Yeah, get a little bit of lipstick on that figure. Yeah,
a little bit, just a little bit though, just
a
enough.
little bit, a little bit to say, hey, Mr. Han.
I like how they just threw these in here. Like it's almost they just threw these figures in there.
Yeah, I mean, this was not supposed to last more than about a couple of years.
Well, I think they expected people to actually open toys back then,
Yeah, this is true.
not like these idiots today like us that just keep it encased in carbonite for as long as we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Next on the
Next
list.
up will be our Han Solo Hoth. Which, I'll be honest with you, when I was a kid, this figure always reminded me of a G.I. Joe figure for some reason.
Really?
Yes. It always did. I don't know why.
You even got an unpunched one here, dude.
Like
That's
that?
rare. Look
Like
at
that?
you, dude.
You like that? So, it was pretty cool about this figure, though, is that this Forlom sticker almost matches the retro sticker. So it looks almost similar, except, once again, Han Solo Hoth outfit. This just says Han
Hoth.
Solo
Hoth.
Hoth. First thing off the bat I noticed, too, is the card back the color is different. So this is yellow. This is more of an orange
more
behind
orange.
him and on the little thing. So
Oh,
I don't know about that. It looks like they might have
you might have missed something.
might have missed
there.
a little bit on that. But the figure itself, I mean,
He's got his hand. I like that hands.
got that grips.
Yeah. This gun is loose, but it is the classic Han
Blaster.
blaster.
And they did the same thing with this. They did
Yeah,
the
that.
original like repro blaster.
And this is a blue blaster.
This looks like a black
A
blaster.
black one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a black blaster. So there's your Han pictures right on, spot on again.
Yeah. They couldn't find a better picture of Harrison
Harrison
Ford.
Ford, that's the best they could find in his winter gear.
Yeah.
And
And this
then-
is a 47 back.
And then there's your backs to compare. And then that one comes with the free Forlom
Forlom, who should be Zutkis.
Zuckus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know?
there he is. You got your original.
Now, do you think the photoreal technology on this Han Solo matches Harrison Ford? I think they did a pretty good job.
We said that with the Wave 1 that they got Luke and Harrison
yeah, and
almost.
when we look at this Bestman Luke,
yeah,
I think they got it
got
spot on.
on.
I don't think you can get much better than that.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. What do we got? So we do have next up.
Here we go. We got the Bespin Luke.
Don't mess that up. Oh, you just crimped all the card back on that. It's now ruined.
All right.
All right, Bespin Luke's coming up. Now, we talked about this in the last episode. Why, for some reason, they gave him a yellow lightsaber. Because that never made any sense to me.
Yeah.
So there's your... Now, that once again, Luke Skywalker, yours says Bespin what?
Bespin Fatigues.
Fatigues. Mine just says Bespin. So I don't... If they're going to make it a retro figure, why are they not doing the verbiage the same?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess because maybe they just... Fatigues, it's not really an outfit. It's not a doll. So maybe they're like, we'll just do Bespin.
It doesn't... I don't know. Now, my hair is bright yellow. It almost matches the lightsaber.
This figure, someone was like, we don't want any detail. We need to make as many of these figures as possible. So just make blotchy black dots as eyes.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
You can barely see the difference between his eyebrows and his eyes.
What is that gold thing on his belt? Is that supposed to be like it where it
Like the buckle.
the buckle?
You don't have that?
I don't have that. Look at that. They did an extra
See?
little
So they
Easter
did.
egg.
They put a little extra Easter egg right there. They put a little gold belt buckle or a little nodule.
And yours has the saber sword.
Mine does have the saber sword, and he comes with the original. He comes with his classic blaster.
So funny little tidbit of information.
And doesn't he have a lightsaber on his leg? Isn't that a
Yeah.
lightsaber?
Yeah, on his
On his hip?
Yeah, it is. It is.
He's got a hip holster.
He's got a hip holster.
So he
too.
actually has 2 lightsabers.
Technically, he does. Funny little story about this. When I got this, the blaster. So the guy didn't package this well, and this was years and years ago. This is like 15 years ago. The gun had fallen out, but the tape was still connected. So I spent about an hour, and I was able to get the gun back in the tape.
It was like the old labyrinth games.
Yeah, it was literally like the
And you're just like
marble
this,
game.
like this.
Yeah, it was like the marble game, and
Yeah.
I was just like this the whole time,
And you got it.
jerking it, and I got it in, and I was like, I'm never touching this again.
And it held.
And here it is that I drove all the way over
And it
here
made it.
with gravel roads, and it stayed
it.
in the tape.
There you go. So there's your retro. And like I said, it's amazing how the original 80 card back is in better condition
Yeah,
than the retro.
the retro one.
I don't know what genius decided to do that. What do you got on the back of that one?
This is a 31 or 32 back as well.
So there's your back. I mean, it looks. I mean, the card backs. I mean, it looks like to be about the same size and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Well, and the thing is that what the geniuses made a mistake, and they released the vintage collection figures when they shouldn't have, when they were doing these retro
I agree.
collection.
I
So they
agree.
had to make some sort of difference in what they were doing. So like, here's a vintage collection card, right?
Yeah.
And what they should have done is never redid these again.
Agreed.
Because we had 100 plus of
now
these
you have
figures.
now you have 170 of them.
Almost 170, and they were like, well, we can't literally release that on the exact same card because that wouldn't make any sense. So let's make these look jacked up
They had to.
and do that.
They had to.
Yeah. So anyway, all right.
Now, just to throw us off the game for a little bit, I was able to find these because I know we've talked about it in the past.
Yeah,
But
let's,
this, these were the original when they did the Power of the Force. And this is dusty because I found it. It was in the closet.
That's classic 4-pack.
But those-
That's
that is-
about the
can you
only
see that?
thing that was worth collecting
Right.
out of that line.
So this is the classic edition 4-pack that came out in what, 95?
Yeah.
Circa 95, 96. And it was the Farm Boy Luke, the original Han, Chewie, and Vader with the original classic lightsabers and everything. But they took a lot of heat for this.
Yeah.
Like they took a ton of heat for these 4 figures
People
because
were
people were
worried.
like, you were going to ruin the vintage line.
Right.
Now, fast forward from the 95 circa to 2020, they don't give a crap.
Yeah.
They're like vintage, retro, 40th anniversary. Put as much crap on the original card
Yep.
as you can. Could you imagine if they made these in the 90s and put them on original cards? People would have lost their mind.
Yep.
They would have lost their mind.
Yep. Let me see these. They got these pretty good.
They did. They did a pretty good job. Don't forget, those are Kenner.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's
that
right.
was actually their molds.
That was the true mold.
That was probably a true mold.
Wow. Look
So,
at
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I wish they would have packaged them more of a classic
Right.
package, but they decided to just do that instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was the small head Han Solo, little
The,
head.
the first version.
first version.
First version.
All right,
All right. So we got
now we're coming down to the final two,
final two goodies.
the goodies, and so we've got our retro collection, not to be confused with the child Baby Yoda.
No, this is definitely
This
not
is
the
the
Baby Yoda.
original man Yoda, and he's got his little cane, and he's got the orange snake. In
And
this
this
version.
is he's circa probably 900 years old at this point.
Yeah, he's around 900 years
Yeah,
old.
900 years old.
So here's your compare to the original Empire Yoda.
And this is the right version. You have the albino,
The albino eyes.
the albino eyes.
Right, which this one looks like it tried to do the albino eyes. It's got the red.
Yeah, they did.
So that's the albino.
Yeah, they actually got this one very, very
Yeah.
spot on. Take a look at that. Get
So
a
he's
clo-
got his orange snake and his albino eyes.
I mean, they even got the cloth
The
color
cloth
down.
is pretty close.
Yeah. So yours has, you got the cane. Is it in his hand or is it on the side?
It's on the side.
It is on the side. They even got, so this is the darker-ish cane. Yeah, that's
Look
about it.
about
Yeah,
right.
that's about right.
It's about the Ninja Turtle color.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
the
yeah.
Ninja Turtle. So, and he's
Yeah.
got his little, what is it? The little light. He
Yeah,
has
I
a
don't
little
know
light
about
kit.
that. Yeah, his
that he
little
steals
light.
from Luke.
Yeah.
He's got his little belt. They even put the peg holes in his feet, which I really didn't pay
Wow,
attention to
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because you
But
can't
he's
really
got-
see him in this one.
Right, but he's got his pegs, so you can stand him in the old school stands and stuff.
Now, what's interesting about all these vintage figures, they all have the little stand in them. This was like towards the end when
Yeah.
they were putting those little
The
stands.
little piece of paper.
Yeah, they didn't do that with any of the retro.
No, Because they have the mold.
Yeah, they have
That's
the mold
why.
to put them in.
If they have them, and notice this one is what's weird with this is like you can see in the original
Look how small that bubble
they
is.
made a small bubble and then they had to put that so that the card back would stand, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, in this one they put the same size bubble as every other figure, so this is clearly a just
Yeah, it's
like
same
a,
bubble for
a same this is a universal bubble, and they just put the insert with his smaller mold to hold them in place. So there's your Empire Yoda.
You know, the names look to be smaller too.
They do. This is a bolder, larger print. This is a little bit of a smaller print.
Yep. And then here's you got a 31 or 32 back as well.
And then there's,
Same generic back.
Yep.
They couldn't even put the figures.
I don't know why. Like, see, for me, if you're gonna go all in, go all in.
Well,
make this an actual retro card.
Well, and I think it's because of the vintage collection.
So you think because they've made the
they got to
vintage,
make it distinct, right?
But
This is what it should have.
But there's nothing distinct about this. This is a Star Wars backed card with. It's all just text. Look at all the print on that. What are you doing with that? Who's reading the back of that? Put pictures.
Right.
We like bright colors, pictures.
We want this.
Yes, I want that. Make that back.
Right.
No one's going to be confused. We all understand these are retro. There's a big sticker on it that tells us.
And this, I mean, this seal on this thing.
It ain't coming off.
No, it's,
You'd have to blowtorch that off.
yeah, you would.
Or
have
the
to.
plastic is so brittle that it'll just break off.
And you know what's amazing about this one? Because there were a lot of yellowed bubbles. I mean, the bubble on this thing is crystal clear.
It held up pretty good, that bubble. It does. There's no rhyme or reason. If you think about it, why are some bubbles yellowed and burnt? Some card backs fall apart. Like, why is it that some hold up better than others?
I don't know.
I mean, mine are hanging on a wall.
Because they were made in like 25 different countries.
Maybe that's what it is.
All right.
So now comes the. I mean, this is definitely the piece of resistance.
It is.
This is the.
I'm afraid to take this out of here.
This is the retro, and this is almost worth as much as that right now, which is ridiculous.
It is.
This is the coveted Yoba Fett, Soft B Yoba Fett Empire card. Obviously, fan favorite. I think even more fan favorite now with Mandalorian
Than the original.
Yeah, I mean, but this is your, and I would love to find another one of these bad boys and rip that thing right open.
Like it was Christmas time.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, huge fan favorite with the Boba Fett's. Really good mold. I mean, it's spot on, dude. I would be
I'll have to look at that one.
hard pressed to say that if this was out of box, it'd be really hard to tell the difference.
Really?
And that's another piece. Like, I'm so fascinated.
Sorry. It's all this dust from this thing.
I'm so fascinated. I want to see the back of his legs. Like, what's the print on it? Does
like
it have?
It probably says Hasbro, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see the difference, but you can see he's got his rocket, and this is not a rocket firing Boba Fett. This is just a classic retro version. Now is your little antenna painted? Is there any paint on that, or is it the classic we forgot and made it just blue?
We just made it blue.
That's what this is too. So they did a good job.
Yeah. You know what really makes me mad is that this figure is a 21 back, but it's on an Empire card, so it's literally like $4,000 less than a regular Star Wars version of this card.
Yeah.
So I just lost, thousands of dollars because it's not on an Empire card, even though it's a 21 back. So it's literally, I'm so close to having a Star Wars card because it's 21 back, but
it's not.
It's not, and it won't be.
So
and
now,
the gun on this is dangling, dude. At any minute.
While might as well, just because this is the best figure, we'll do a. So I'm not rich like you, so I have him on a Jedi card.
I got you that for Christmas.
This was a Christmas gift. You're right.
So
this
was
for the hybrid gift. This is one of my first when we first started collect, because you weren't even collecting carded figures.
No. And what's crazy? So for all the fans out there, that's what 15 years old. I bought that. 20 years old.
Not that old.
Maybe 15.
About 15.
15. When I
think
bought
this is
that,
prior to even the cameraman being alive.
Yeah, that figure I won off eBay, and Mrs. CC was like, CC wants a Boba Fett. I said, well, how much do you want to spend? And she said, maybe 150. That's my max. I said, all right, I'll see what I can do. And I won that, and I won it for $150 bid.
How much are you going to win that for now?
That's probably like $800-900.
Right, and this is the Jedi card.
Yeah.
So there's your Jedi compared. Now this bubble's a little more yellowed, but there's your Jedi compared to you. And then you can see that even the bubble's different. You have the stand bubble with the piece of cardboard in between its legs.
Yeah.
and mine is just a flat one on there.
And you have a different picture, right? Is that one of the
yes,
different pictures?
I have the picture with him standing on the skiff.
on the skip.
This is right before his demise.
Yeah.
Now didn't they have a variant bubble or a variant card for this originally? Didn't
Yeah,
they
this
have,
one.
Right. So, but Jedi had both.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
Well,
yeah.
and they took his picture right before that's probably his last known alive picture.
Correct. That's right before he got his gun sliced in half by Luke.
That's right.
And then I have the
What is that? A 77?
the classic 77 Jedi back that shows all of them.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't have any faded out Ewoks either.
No.
That's
That's when they exposed them.
yes, they were
finally.
exposed. So yeah. So
And does that have the gun in his hand?
the
or
gun?
tape?
No, the gun is taped to his by his feet.
Okay. Yeah.
It's taped up against. They lowered it, so yours is higher.
Yeah. There
It's
you
a
go.
lot of money. Are you gonna open these?
You want? Let's open. I would tear this open right now.
I'll open mine if you open yours first.
Now I just got to worry about getting this home.
So now you
without
have
the gun.
three Boba Fett's, and I mean it's pretty good, dude.
Yeah. Let's see.
This one does look bigger though. Is that just my eyes?
I don't know.
Hang
Let me
on,
see.
hang on. I don't know, cameraman. You tell me. If I hold these right, this Boba Fett. It could be one of those Mr. Wizard moments where like left, right, but it
It's
does.
definitely a giant bubble compared.
Is
to
it?
the
Maybe that's
original.
what's throwing it off. But you decide, fans. That is the original one smaller than the retro? I don't know. But yeah,
And here, just for since we got a later episode.
well, look at this.
Yeah.
We are full of Mandalorians,
we
and
got
I mean, dude,
some
this is a
Mandalorian.
hodgepodge. Fans are creaming it in their pants right now.
Yeah, look at all these bobas.
Look at all these Bobas and Mandos. Oh God.
Oh, there you go.
So-
that is your Mandalorian to a Boba Fett.
Nice. So there is no as of right now, that from what I understand, there's no Wave 3
Nope.
released.
The only thing you got coming is going to be the next game, right? With the exclusive X-wing Luke, which is actually not an X-wing Luke; it's a snowspeeder Luke.
Correct. So
Yeah.
that is so that figure is not an exclusive to Walmart. That
Let me see
figure
this one.
is so yes, thank you for reminding me of that. So yes, so just like the last wave for wave 1, it comes with a special figure in a battle game, a board game, right? Which again, another game that probably nobody ever played.
Right.
But that is going to be
I don't even think that's a real game.
No,
is it?
I don't think it is. I think
No.
it's made. So that's going to be the Snowspeeder Luke.
And he comes with his harpoon gun.
And that one is not exclusive right now to anything, from what I understand. That will be available on like some certain websites, which I pre-ordered it during what? I mean, it's been a while since I pre-ordered that.
About probably 3 months, 4 months.
So
It was back in October, wasn't it?
no. That was when they did the special. Remember that special March? Was it March or February? They did that special Hasbro Pulse Day.
Oh yeah.
That was when
for the fans.
For the fans. That was Fan Fest.
It's the Fan Fest for the fans, and we're thinking that we're all getting maybe a discount, like a 10% discount. No, they're just putting more figures out on the website for us to buy. Like they're doing us a favor, right?
They are doing a favor.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed in the bottom of this bubble, there's a almost like an air pocket.
Uh-huh.
Maybe if it gets frosting in 20 years, I can blow some air in there and blow it right off.
Excellent.
Maybe that's what that is. It's a port.
It's a port to keep the air from getting in or getting juiced up and melted.
So yeah. So once I get that snow speeder Luke,
We'll have to do
we'll do a review on that, because I think what I'm probably gonna do is open it from the board game. So I want it to have
Gotcha.
a loose carded. Are you expecting
Yeah.
a call? Do I need to?
It is. We've quarantined enough. We have to
Oh,
break
we
away
need
for
to break?
phase 2. Yep.
All right. Well.
All right. Until next time, folks. See you later.